Hey guys, what's up? So I am meal prepping right now, and basically the point of this video is to kind of teach you how to be more efficient with your time meal prepping. I know that if you're new to it, or if you're just not used to cooking a lot of food at once can feel kind of overwhelming and daunting, and you can end up spending a lot more time trying to do so than you really want to. So basically, meal prepping doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to take forever. There's a few things to keep in mind that can kind of keep the time down, keep the effort down. So I just want to share those things with you specifically. Before we get started on some of those tips, I'm going to show you what I've got today. And so I've got some chicken here. I am cooking up two types of chicken. This is a new crock-pot chicken recipe I'm working on. So obviously that's already cooked, but it's been cooking for like 3 hours, so that went in first. But then we have this chicken that we will be using the oven for, and then I've got some Brussels sprouts that I'm gonna roast, along with some carrots, and then we've got some herbs here. I'm gonna make a curry sauce for that chicken that is in the crock pot, so that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be new. Oh yeah, we've got some potatoes here and some rice. So one of the biggest things that I really want to point out is that when you are thinking about meal prepping and what you are cooking, you have to consider what you have available. So if you don't have like multiple ovens, which most people do not, try to make it so you aren't having to use your oven for everything. Think of all of the things that you can use at once to really make things more efficient. Use all different types of cooking methods. You could use more on the stovetop while you're cooking things in the oven. You could use your crock pot. You could use your rice cooker, steamer. So that's basically my rundown of things. I'm going to be steaming these potatoes while I'm cooking this rice. This is already done. This is going in the oven. And while this is in the oven, we're going to be prepping all this stuff. So that just is what moves things along a little bit quicker and makes it more efficient. And I'll show you a little bit more of how I do that. One thing that we learned in culinary school that was something that was really important, something we were pushed to do before we started each class, was to make a timeline of everything we were cooking. This is also very important, like when it comes to working in a restaurant. The time is important. Basically, they're not really concerned as much about how well you can cook, just like how fast you can do it. So I don't know, it's a little bit of both. But so here we go. Timelines are incredibly important when it comes to cooking. Hello, Carly. Yes. Hi. You're gonna hear her footsteps. I apologize. So before we even get started, going over a timeline in your head of how you're going to go about it, creating an order to things, can help you from like deviating and like losing your mind, getting distracted and stuff like that. So I just want to show you how I lay out my timeline, especially for the meals that I'm cooking. So cooking timeline. First things first is always preheat your oven. I've got mine preheating already. I'm setting it at 375 today, which is like kind of like the basic, average heat temperature. Every oven's different, always, using meat thermometer, all that, yada yada. Do not overcook your chicken, it tastes disgusting. Then I'm going to put my rice and potatoes in the rice cooker, just because it's really quick and easy, but it'll take a little bit more time than the rest of the things. And then I'm going to prep the chicken breast right here. Then I'm gonna salt it, spice it, put it in the oven, and then while that is cooking in the oven, I'm going to prep all the vegetables that are going to go in the oven, and for the curry sauce, I'm putting some vegetables in the curry sauce, and then put those in the oven. And while those are cooking, I will be preparing the curry sauce, and then all of that will be basically done, and I will be plating up my final product. So now, as you can see, I have a good starting point, a good end point. I know where to go from here. It's in my brain, and it's not like, where do I start? What do I do next? And it just leads to like utter chaos in the kitchen. It's a mess. Timelines. They are great. They are your friend. Highly recommend them. So on that note, I am gonna get started. And I'll kind of try to show you my process along the way as best as possible without making this video like 8 hours long. So let's do this. Okay, so the chicken is out of the oven, it is done. How do I know it's done? Because I have a meat thermometer and it measured at 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't ask me for a time because every oven is different. It depends on the thickness of the breast and all that fun stuff. Just if you want to be accurate and you don't want to overcook things or undercook things because you don't want diarrhea, that is not fun unless you're like really looking for a detox blend and you feel like peeing out your asshole. Don't recommend it. But 165 degrees Fahrenheit, get one of these. Just do it. Stop being cheap and just get it. They're like $8. Okay. So I'm not gonna waste any more time or clean pans, anything like that. So I'm just gonna scoop this chicken up, put it straight into my Pyrex container for it to cool off. I'll probably just end up forever storing it in here so I can come at it later or whenever I want. So voila, one piece of chicken done, or one batch. Then, just gonna go ahead and dump my vegetables into this pan. I seasoned these with salt, pepper, and some coconut oil that I had to like heat and pour over because I'm out of olive oil because I'm cheap. Anyways, so garlic powder, salt, pepper, coconut oil. I'm gonna put these in the oven now. And yeah, so don't waste your time like putting things on different pans if you don't have to. That's the beauty of kind of like moving things in and out of the oven in a timely manner. These are going in. And then while those are cooking, I'm gonna get started on my curry sauce. Still got my rice and my potatoes steaming in here. And the reason I'm steaming the potatoes is because I don't want to use oven space. And I can always go back later. And once you have potatoes that are cooked, you could do anything with them. You could reheat them in the oven. You could season them up with whatever you want. You can heat them up in the pan. They're already cooked, so like it just gives you more options during the week, which is great. You can roast them if you want. They're always tasty that way. But it's up to you if you want to take that time. Sometimes you gotta sacrifice. Kylie, stop. Some taste for some time. Anyways, curry sauce. So my rice finished before my potatoes, so I took out my rice and put it in a container like so. And then put some more water into the steamer, put the potatoes back in so those will have time to finish. Now I'm gonna get started with this sauce for the chicken. And just so you can see, so this is what the crock-pot chicken looks like. Normally, I would any normal person would probably just cook the chicken in the sauce from the start so it can really like absorb all those flavors. But when you're counting your macros, that makes things a little hard. So with this one, I just cooked the chicken in chicken stock, curry powder, salt, and some garlic. So now I'm gonna make the curry sauce separate to go on top of it so I can better like calculate my macros, kind of still know where I'm at and not kind of have to play a guessing game of like, oh, how much of the sauce is in the chicken, that sort of thing. So, to the sauce. Okay, so to start, I'm gonna put in some onions and some yellow peppers. I really would like to add in some more color and use some red bell peppers, but they're like $2 more, so we're gonna keep it a little cheaper. Just gonna add a little bit of salt and let these onions and peppers kind of cook down a little bit. And then I'm gonna be adding some coconut milk, some curry powder. Then, whoops, don't eat that, Charlie. I'm gonna drop in some chopped or minced garlic and ginger and some fresh cilantro, and it's all just gonna tie in very nicely. So, yeah, I'm gonna cook this now. I'll stop talking. Alright, so everything is done. Here is the curry sauce, the potatoes, the rice, the vegetables, the curry chicken, and just the regular baked chicken. And I put one meal together so you can kind of see what it looks like. Oh, this is way crooked. I am the best cameraman for myself. Not really. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you individually prep out your meals. So I've got like 6 ounces of chicken, some of the curry sauce, some potatoes, and vegetables. Can you see that? I don't want to like dump out the food. There we go. That's what it looks like. Ta-da. But this is what I do down here with these parts of it, because it kind of gives me a little bit more options throughout the week, so I can kind of buffet style it and mix and match things. So maybe one day I want potatoes, maybe one day I want rice, just so like I don't feel like I have to eat a certain combo. But if I'm gonna be like going out somewhere, gosh, I'm really horrible with this whole camera thing. If I'm going to be out all day and I need to put meals together, I can do that the night before and have it ready for the next day. I don't need to do this all at once. You can if you want, it's totally up to you, but I kind of like doing it as I go. And yeah, so that's just how I meal prep. That's how I make it more efficient. It is hot in here. It is February, but I'm in California and it's a little too warm for February. Anyways, this is it. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below, and give it a thumbs up if you like these videos. I can do more of them if you would like, and peace out. I will see you next time.